So recently, Houston, Texas have had a recent STD outbreak, but not only that, over 42,000 people are said to have the HIV STD new infection just in the month of June. Child, what? Now, we all know that this is a season of judgment. We are seeing plagues and we are seeing so many things that has come to the forefront. Yes, as HIV has always been here on surface. But as we begin to look into the world and even the culture, I did a video and I talked about Sexyy Red and how she is a industry plant. When the industry and the people in upper echelons, these Hollywood, these big wig people who are in control of moving culture along, they are very intentional even about that. When I talked about Sexyy Red being a plant, not just for the election, but sexually. I mean, it has literally, I knew something was wrong when Carisha sat up on that podcast and said, I like the BP. Oh. Girl, what? In itself is a spirit of perversion. And that is what we're seeing in the land today. Most of your popular artists that are really popularitying that's not a word, but I just made it up. Who's into this popular arena that everybody like and love their songs? It's a spirit of perversion. They're moving the spirit of perversion, lust. That's all we see as it relates to Sexyy Red, the City Girls. These songs, I'll be baffled. Like, wait a minute, what you just say? The more and more sin begins to grow, the more and more we will begin to see plagues and different outbreaks and things of that nature. Y'all better close them legs up in Houston, cause child.
Alright, you kids get to bed, I get the storybook.
Sexyy D.E.D, Houston's Pussy Problem. Chapter 1. The Rise of Sexyy Red. Sexyy was born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, a city with a rich musical history. Growing up in a rough neighborhood, she found solace in music, using it as an escape from the harsh realities of her environment. Sexyy began writing her own lyrics, drawing inspiration from the struggles and triumphs of her daily life. In 2018, at the age of 19, Sexyy released her first rap song under the name Sexyy Red. The song, raw and unfiltered, quickly gained traction in the local scene. Her bold lyrics and unapologetic attitude resonated with many, and she began performing at small venues around St. Louis. It was clear from the start that Sexyy Red was destined for greatness. Sexyy Red's rise to fame wasn't instantaneous, but her persistence paid off. She continued to release music, each track gaining more attention than the last. By 2020, she had built a solid fan base in the Midwest and was beginning to attract attention from industry insiders. Her big break came in 2022, when she was invited to collaborate with a rising rapper from Chicago. The collaboration, a gritty track that highlighted both artists' strengths, was a hit. The success of the song opened doors for Sexyy Red, and she soon found herself in high demand. Chapter 2. Relocating to H-Town after Pound Town. As her fame grew, Sexyy Red made the decision to relocate to Houston, Texas. The move was strategic. Houston's vibrant music scene offered more opportunities for collaboration and growth. In Houston, she signed a recording contract with Mob Ties Entertainment, headed by Jazz Prince, the son of the infamous record mogul Jay Prince. Under Mob Ties Entertainment, Sexyy Red's career skyrocketed. She released a series of successful singles and collaborated with some of the biggest names in the industry, including Drake, whom Jazz Prince discovered a decade earlier, Nicki Minaj, and NLE Choppa. Her unique style and fearless lyrics set her apart from other artists. and she quickly became a household name. Chapter 3. Controversial Consequences. Sexyy Red's music often stirred controversy, particularly her stance on intimate relationships. In her songs, she frequently emphasized that she didn't like her men wearing condoms in the bedroom. While this view drew criticism from some quarters, it only seemed to fuel her popularity. Her fans loved her for her honesty and refusal to conform to societal expectations. However, this aspect of her persona would soon have unforeseen consequences. Over the years, Sexyy Red had been involved with numerous partners, and several of them began to experience health issues. It was eventually discovered that an unknown STD had developed inside of Sexyy Red, one that she had unknowingly spread to others. Chapter 4. Outbreak. In the sweltering heat of the summer of 2024, Houston, Texas became ground zero for a devastating outbreak of sexually transmitted diseases. What began as a surge in routine cases soon escalated into a full-blown crisis, with hospitals overwhelmed and panic spreading through the city like wildfire. Among the myriad infections plaguing the population, there emerged a particularly sinister and mysterious disease that defied all medical understanding. Patients afflicted with this new STD began exhibiting horrifying symptoms reminiscent of death itself. Their flesh turned a sickly shade of gray, and their extremities started to decompose as if they were corpses left to rot, yet still alive. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, swiftly mobilized a team of experts to investigate this alarming anomaly, fearing a potential epidemic that could spiral out of control. Within weeks, the investigation bore unsettling fruit. Among the countless victims was a small cluster who had contracted this unknown disease. What set them apart was their connection to a rising star in Houston's music scene, Sexyy Red, a charismatic rap artist known for her provocative lyrics and larger-than-life persona. Born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, Sexyy Red had burst onto the Houston rap scene after signing with Mob Ties Entertainment under the wing of Jazz Prince, renowned for discovering talents like Drake. Her meteoric rise to fame was fueled by a brazen attitude and a rebellious disregard for conventions, particularly when it came to safe sex practices. Rumors swirled around Sexyy Red's lifestyle, fueled by her public persona and social media presence. She flaunted her sexual freedom and famously boasted about never using protection, a stance that earned her both admirers and critics in equal measure. As the CDC delved deeper into the origins of the mysterious disease, all signs pointed to Sexyy Red as the epicenter of the outbreak. Contacting her at her residence in Spring, Texas, authorities swiftly brought her in for testing and quarantine. The laboratory results confirmed their worst fears. The disease was indeed linked to Sexyy Red's sexual encounters, earning it the chilling moniker Sexyy D.E.D, decomposing erection disease. And the news sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and the public at large. Questions swirled about how a disease with such grotesque symptoms could arise, and debates raged over the responsibilities of public figures like Sexyy Red in promoting safe sex practices. Chapter 5. The Ending. Amidst mounting pressure, protests, and conspiracy theories, Sexyy Red's health deteriorated rapidly. The disease that bore her name was merciless in its progression, and despite the efforts of medical experts, no cure could be found in time to save her. Tragically, she passed away during an ill-fated performance at Donald Trump's second presidential inauguration, a spectacle marred by chaos and controversy. In the aftermath of Sexyy Red's demise, scientists intensified their search for a cure to Sexyy D.E.D, facing unprecedented challenges in understanding its unique properties and transmission methods. Public health campaigns surged, emphasizing the critical importance of safe sex and regular testing in preventing further outbreaks. As the world mourned the loss of Sexyy Red and grappled with the legacy of Sexyy D.E.D, Houston stood as a stark reminder of the fragile balance between fame and responsibility, pleasure and consequence. The scars left by the outbreak would take years to heal, a sobering testament to the unpredictability of disease and the human cost of unchecked desire.
Ladies and gentlemen, they got the cities with the highest STD rates in 2024. Number one on the list, Memphis, Tennessee. I ain't surprised. I ain't surprised at all. I am not surprised. Then they got a picture of Sexyy Red on here. That's very accurate. So she's the raw dog queen. Got to go and put her out there. That where it come from.